Hello there, I'm Mr. Vlad and I stood on a bus for 2 hours yesterday. Literally stood, even though I had a reservation. I love this organized public transport. At least there was this one gorgeous blonde girl. I know staring is bad, but sue me, I don't give a fuck. Anyway, today's video is the first in a series of guides. I will be explaining what the best feature of an individual Warframe is, and, of course, the other side of the coin, what the drawbacks of said Warframe would be. For the first video, I'll be explaining what's so great about Excalibur. We'll start with his base stats. Having 100 health, shields, and power at unranked, combined with an armor rating of 65, puts him in a comfortable average amongst all the Warframes, making both redirection and vitality useful on him. Now let's talk about his abilities. Excalibur's first ability is Slash Dash. While his Slash Dash is nice for slicing through a line of enemies, the higher level enemies quickly outscale the damage of the ability, making it somewhat useless in anything above level 20 content. The mobility aspect of Slash Dash is its redeeming feature. The distance traveled scales with power duration, not power range, so with mods like Continuity and Narrow-Minded, you should be able to cross any gaps or long rooms with ease. Excalibur's second ability is Radial Blind, but we'll come back to it in a moment after we cover the rest of his abilities. Excalibur's third ability is Super Jump, also known as Super Useless. It can be useful to get into tricky spots, but nothing a bit of parkour wouldn't take care of, making this 6 to 9 drain ability not worth your mod capacity. Excalibur's fourth and final ability is Radial Javelin. He stabs the ground for whatever reason and shoots out a limited number of javelins. The number depends on the rank of the ability. This ability will wipe out most enemies it hits at lower levels, but even in Tower 2 missions with levels ranging from 20 to 30, it already struggles, making it irrelevant in higher level content. Another problem with the ability is its long cast time that leaves you standing there like a target dummy. Now we return to Excalibur's second ability, Radial Blind. This is an ability that can propel Excalibur straight into endgame content. Of course, this is just my opinion. This 4 to 7 drain ability blinds everything in a base range of 30 meters, even through walls and other obstacles, staggering them for a few seconds and making them switch to an unalerted state, which means they take 4 times as much damage from melee attacks. However, I'm not sure if this is a part of the original design, but even after the enemies recover from the stagger, their IQ seems to shrink down to about 50, putting them somewhere between an idiot and a plant. What I mean to say is, they seem to completely ignore you. They don't melee you, they don't shoot at you, nothing. If this is a mechanic connected to Radial Blind and not a glitch, this could potentially be one of the most powerful crowd control abilities in the game. The ability scales well with both power range and power duration mods and is unaffected by power strength mods. And that's what's so great about Excalibur. A quick recap before we end the video. Slash Dash. Damage scales with power strength, distance traveled scales with power duration. Pros, mobility. Cons, damage fall off into higher levels. Radial Blind. Range scales with power range, duration scales with power duration. Pros, long range, obstacle ignoring crowd control with a short stagger and a long disable. Cons, possibly bugged and could be changed in the future, who knows. Super Jump. Height scales with power strength. Pros, getting over obstacles quickly. Cons, high mod capacity drain and parkour renders it useless. Radial Javelin. Damage scales with power strength. Pros, quick clear of a small group of enemies. Cons, damage falls off into higher levels. Long cast animation makes player vulnerable. That's all I had to say about Excalibur. If this video helped you decide about getting him or ignoring him, leave a like. It takes a second of your time but helps me out a shit ton. Click subscribe to win the game.